Howdy everyone, this is the Pioneer 18,000 BTU Inverter Plus heat pump. I actually initially made this one long video on my main channel, but I thought I'd break it down into smaller, more digestible pieces over here. That said, this video is going to be solely dedicated to testing, demoing, and my final thoughts on this product. If you're curious why I chose this model or how to install it, I'll upload those separately. Alright, well, no trip GFCI, so that's a good sign. Well, let's hit that on button. Oh yeah. Let's make it nice and cold. How about 69? Actually, it's still kind of cool, so I'm gonna have to manually crank this way down. All right, guys, so situation report, not good. This unit's been running for a while now, and at first I was like, oh, it's nice and quiet, easy to turn off, easy to control. And then I noticed it's not actually getting cold at all. So I have a thermocouple up here, which is recording the exhaust temperature, and that's only 66 degrees, which is basically room temperature right now, since it's, still March and kind of, cool this time of year. So I do have an email out to Pioneer tech support to try and figure out what's going on, because thus far, it's not working as an air conditioner. All right, guys, so situation update to last night's situation update. Tech support got back to me right away, and the first thing they asked was, did you remember to open the liquid valve, which I did not. It's a detail that's in the instructions that, unfortunately I just glossed right over. I tried to pay as close attention to those instructions as I could, but I missed that one. So that sounds like it's probably the problem, so we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Can't believe I missed that. And just like that, the problem was solved. We are now throwing out absolutely copious amounts of 43-degree air. Next up, I want to show everyone how insanely quiet the Pioneer 18,000 BTU mini split is while cooling. We essentially have 4 fan speeds: low, medium, high, and turbo. On low, it's really not audible, barely registering over the 40-ish decibel baseline of my room. It's the same story when we turn it up to medium. Turn it up to high, and we've gone up about 5 decibels, still very quiet and unlikely to disturb pretty much anyone, even someone who really dislikes noise, like me. Finally, on turbo, we're hitting 55, which is a bit more noticeable, but honestly, it just sounds like the wind blowing outside. Overall, I'm thrilled with this unit's indoor noise levels. The outdoor unit, while cooling, is also ridiculously quiet. However, take this video with a grain of salt, as it's still pretty cool out, so I doubt the compressor is ramped up to a level one might expect on a hot summer day. If I flip it over to heat pump mode, things are looking just as good. Once again, leveraging the thermocouple, we see an outstanding exhaust temp of 106 degrees. What makes this even more impressive is the fact that while doing this, we're only drawing 3.58 amps. At 240 volts, that means a total wattage of just 860. Incredible! While heating, we're a bit louder than cooling, still only 55 decibels though. However, I did notice one odd, potentially annoying quirk. This unit's exterior case appears to have some sort of resonance frequency issue, like when the compressor motor hits just the right speed, it makes this audible vibrating sound. For what it's worth, I don't think it's a big deal. As you can see here, merely touching it provides enough dampening to quiet it right up. Honestly, if I ever find that bothersome, I'll just add a little bit of sound mat. After I was satisfied everything was working well, I went ahead and sealed up the wall penetration. I used some expanding foam. If you go this route, just make sure to use one made for windows and doors. It's low expanding, meaning it won't accidentally do something like crush the condensate line. After a bit of paint touch-up on the line set covers and sealant around the mounting block, we're done. With everything completed, let's go ahead and take a minute to see how this thing works. We can change the mode. Auto is basically set a temperature and then never worry about it again. Cool only, dry dehumidification, heat, and then fan only. This time of year, I'm not really even going to be using it, but I'll most likely keep it on cool, I'm thinking. We, of course, can set the temperature in 1 degree increments. We've got timer on and off functions. So basically, timer on sets a time delay for when the unit's going to turn on. Timer off sets a time delay for when it's going to turn off. And here's something really interesting, is that you can actually use these two in tandem. So, you can set an off delay and an on delay if you want it to kind of just run for a certain period of time. Right here, you gotta turn it on first. Just turn the whole thing on. Right here, if you just hit that eco button, it sets it to 75 and says it runs it in an energy efficient manner. Don't exactly know what that means. I just know the fan speed is not adjustable and the temperature is set at 75. If we hit the set button here, we cycle through several things. There's a little person, that is access point mode, that's sleep mode, and then that person again. And what I want to point out about that is it's a real interesting mode called follow me. And what that does is it will override the air handler's thermometer for the thermometer that's inside the remote itself, and it will update it every 3 seconds, basically meaning if you keep the remote on you, it will just kind of adjust the temperature, the ambient temperature reading to whatever is around you. Super cool. We can also adjust the fan speed here, super quiet, medium, high, and then turbo, which basically turns everything on maximum. We can control the louver swing, turn that on or off. We can do the same thing with the head unit LED, off, on. And then this clean function does something where it internally tries to dry out the coils. I'm not exactly sure how that works. And then eco mode here, that apparently just does something where it says everything operates at reduced power to conserve energy. They weren't real specific on that one. But yeah, overall you can do quite a lot with this remote.
The one thing I was unfortunately unable to test were any of the Wi-Fi or smart features. The adapter was sold out and an attempt to plug in a generic adapter was unsuccessful. I will say their app is well reviewed though. So bottom line, here's how I would rate the Pioneer 18,000 BTU Inverter Plus heat pump. Condenser build quality, 5 out of 5. It feels sturdy and all connections are easily made. Indoor air handler, 3.5 out of 5. It feels a bit plasticky with all covers and panels being held in place with easily breakable plastic tabs. Plus the junction box is pretty tight to work in and the mounting template seemed off by about half an inch. Company service and support. Thus far, 6 out of 5. Extra credit here for providing warranty coverage to DIYers as well as offering very prompt and thorough answers to any questions I had. Performance. 5 out of 5. It blows out copious amounts of hot and cold air, all while being virtually silent indoors and just sipping electricity. Overall, I'm thrilled with this product, so good luck everybody.